Hi, my name is Sam. We are currently in MR1. This is typically what an MR room would look like in the C block area of the music department. In each room you'll find an iMac, a pair of Mackie PA speakers, an Allen & Heath QU16 digital desk with a variety of backline equipment. This will be a quick rundown of how to safely use the studios by powering up and powering down and using the equipment. First thing to note, there will be no food or drinks in the studio unless it's bottled water, and always keep your key in the door. To power on the QU16, the headphone amp and the iMac, make sure the master fader is down on the desk. This is to stop any loud bangs or pops before turning on any speakers. The QU16 should turn on at the wall. If it doesn't, check that little round button to the left of the power cable is pressed in. This is located at the back of the desk. Secondly, power on both PA speakers. When it comes to powering down, it is the same process but in reverse. So speakers off first and then everything else. Now, let's try and get a mic through the desk and out through the speakers. Firstly, we'll grab an XLR and plug it into the mic and into channel 3 on the back of the desk. We'll then make sure that channel 3 is selected, and while singing into the mic, adjust the gain knob in the top left quarter accordingly, aiming for around -10 dB. You can see this in the VU meter on the touchscreen. A healthy gain level will hover in the light green area, never in the red, and make sure it never clips. All of the pan, EQ, compression, and high pass settings are assigned only to the channel you currently have selected. The microphone we're using is a Shure SM58, which is a dynamic microphone. However, if we wanted to use a condenser microphone, this will require phantom power. We would press and hold the 48 volts button on the left hand side of the touchscreen until the red light is turned on. Make sure you only do this to a microphone that needs 48 volts, and do so when the channel is muted. Never put 48 volts through a ribbon microphone. If you would like to use reverb on the QU16, you can find this by using FX1. Firstly, while on LR main mix, select the upper layer of the desk and bring the FX1 send and return faders to 0. On this desk, these two faders match up with the channel numbers 4 and 8. Now switch back to the bottom layer on the desk and go from your LR mix to the FX1 mix on the right hand side. Now you can slowly bring up the fader that your microphone is on, which will increase the send to the reverb or the effects you've chosen. Don't forget to change back to your LR mix once you're happy with the level of reverb. The exact same setup also applies for effects 2 to 4, which can be used for other effects. These can be selected using the effects button on the lower right hand side of the screen. FYI, the knob on the bottom right of the touch panel is assignable to whatever you press on that panel. The two most commonly used channel sources on the QU16 are local and USB streaming. To switch between local and USB streaming on your chosen channel, locate the USB button on the top left of the desk underneath where it says preamp. This will quickly switch between the two options. Local equals red, USB streaming equals blue. The QU16 can also be used as an audio interface for recording both microphones and line inputs. The desk also has the option for up to 16 outputs from the computer. The QU16 is plug and play for Macs. However, if you're using a PC, you will need to download the relevant drivers from their website, the link for which will be in the description below. When it comes to using the Macs in the studios, don't use your personal account. Please log in with student, password, student, and make sure that you back up any work before you leave that studio. Always make sure your audio input and output are set to the QU16 both in the system preferences of the iMac and also in the DAW you are using, i.e. Logic, Fruity Loops, Ableton. The default output of the iMac will be 1 and 2. For instance, audio from a web browser will come out of channels 1 and 2 on the QU16. Hence, when plugging in any microphones and lines, it's easier to start on channel 3. Alongside using the PA speakers, there are two separate headphone sends. These can be used while recording or for click track or backing track purposes. To set up a headphone mix, select either Mix 1 or Mix 2. Now select the channels you wish to monitor in your headphone mix and bring them up to the required level. Mix 1 and 2 link up with input 1 and 2 on the headphone amp, located below the QU16 on the rack. On the headphone amp, make sure the volume is set at 12 o'clock in the main section. This is on the left hand side of the amp. Select your desired mix using the source button. This will allow you to choose between either mix 1 or 2.